Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a get ready with me. I'm going to be showing you this makeup right here, which is my everyday makeup. No, I do not wear makeup every single day, but just when I want to be put together, look nice, just get done up a little bit, this is what I do. It's super easy. I'll be leaving all the products I use in the description box down below, and let's get into the video. Alright, so I have my hair in my turban and I'm just having it dry right now. I did just take a shower, so it is all wrapped up. I'm gonna start with primer first. I already moisturized when I got out the shower, so I'm just gonna put a couple of drops on my face, massage it in, and then I like to press it in. Let that soak in, and then we'll go in with our foundation. So I do have some redness and a little friend. And I also wear glasses, so I do have the marks on my nose. So I'm definitely trying to cover those up. Again, I'm just going to be getting ready to go to the living room, but still this is what I typically like to do when I want to get put together. Not going anywhere, but just to feel good, just to do something. I don't know about you guys, but this past week was very stressful and very tiring, so I'm glad that it's the weekend and I'm so excited to just be doing, you know, my makeup. It's very simple. It's a very easy task to do, but it's just something that you can do for yourself. Know what I mean? So it's like your personal time to just feel good, get yourself together, you know, play music in the background and just enjoy your me time, you know? So foundation I'm going in with is the L'Oreal 24 Hour. Put it on the back of my hand, and I like to mix it with the MAC Strobe Cream. And your Apple Watch starts tweaking out. Just a little bit, nothing too much. Mix it in. I prefer to go in with a light hand first. If I do need more coverage, then I like to build it up than having too much at once, and it's just like, what am I gonna do now? You know, like when you're cooking and they say less is more and you can always add more, same thing. So we'll put this on. And I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Beauty Sponge. And with this foundation, a lot does go a long way. A little bit over the eyes. If I can't get all of it with just foundation, I'll go in with concealer. But for the most part, it does cover it pretty well. Cover a little friend right here. Next, I like to go in with the Anastasia Stick Foundation, and I go in the color Mink. I cream contour. Do have my mirror over here. I like to go in with this first and then concealer, because then that warms up and it's easier to blend. Concealer is the e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer. So I'm going to blend out my contour first, and I'm just using a little Real Techniques I'm just using a Real Techniques mini medium sculpting brush. That is a mouthful to try and get out. Blend out the concealer. Okay, for powder, I like to use the Airspun loose powder. Some might not like this product. It does have a fragrance, and it is something that I did have to get used to. And I use the same sponge. And when I do this, I do like to lean forward just because since it is a loose powder, you can totally just drench yourself in powder. And we're just going over all the places that we put the concealer on. And then I do like to go under the contour and just make sure that that is nice and clean. I didn't go under there with concealer, so this is the cleanup. Okay. For bronzer, Hoola bronzer, good old faithful. I've been wanting to get the big one. Like, I'm such a, okay, if you personally know me, you know that I am obsessed with like mini size, travel size, just cute little sizes of things. Doesn't really matter what it is, whether it's a cup, whether it is a brush. I've even gone to like Bed Bath & Beyond and they've had like mini cheese graters. Yeah, so you would think that I wouldn't be interested in getting the big Hoola bronzer, but I think just because it's not the normal size, I'm interested in getting it. Another Real Techniques fluffy brush. And we're just going over the places that we cream contoured to set that. Once I'm done with the contour, I like to go in with a fluffy kabuki brush. This is an e.l.f. one, and just brush off the translucent powder that we had setting the concealer. And I'm not too rough with this because I noticed one time I was just a little too rough. I was more like buffing than like swiping, and I disturbed the product that I had underneath. And it became very patchy, and it was like impossible to try and fix. I do go in like buffing to blend. If by chance I took too much, then I'll go back in a little bit. There's barely any product on this, and I'm gonna go in. For blush, I'm using the NARS Orgasm, and I like to use a stippling brush. Again, this is a mini. And I like to use a stippling brush just because it gives a more diffused look. It's not as pigmented when you put it on. So you can make it look like a nice little flush of color. See? Versus like... And I did forget to mention in the beginning, I had Vaseline on my lips. With now putting on the powder, is gone, so I'm actually gonna run and put some more on. Okay, so now my lips are getting rehydrated because that translucent powder can really suck up the moisture. Next, I will go in with highlight, which I use the MAC Soft and Gentle highlighter, and I'm just using a Sigma tapered highlighting brush. Nice little glow on the side. I'd like to do the tip of my nose. Cupid's bow. That's it for the face right now. We will come back at the end when we're done with everything for me to set. Okay, so we're gonna move on to eyes. And for eyes, I do like to just go in with the simple Hoola bronzer with a blending brush. And I just like to give a wash of color to my eyelid. Just a natural flush of color, nothing too crazy. I do more intricate eyeshadow looks, but for like everyday put together, I just like it very simple. So I just go in with a little bit, tap off the excess, and go into the crease first, going back and forth. And then I will just go to the lid with whatever is left and bring it up just a little bit, just so it's blown out. It's very soft and diffused. I don't go any higher than above the crease right here. It's not like I'm bringing it to the brow bone, because we'll go in with highlighter in a second. But yeah, you see the difference? Just some nice little color. Sometimes if the edges are too harsh, just go in like this and buff that out. There you go. Make sure they're even. I go in with highlighter once my mascara is done. So speaking of mascara, I'm going to curl my lashes. Before we were put on pause, I had gotten my lashes lifted and it came out so good for the first time, especially they were even. I was a little worried that one side was gonna take and the other wasn't, and I was gonna have lopsided lashes, but that was not the case. They came out great and I loved them, and they lasted. Typically they say to get your lashes done again 6 to 8 weeks, and I was unable to, obviously because of the pause. They lasted probably, I'd say, like 9 weeks, and then I started seeing like some of the lashes drop, but that was fine. So right now they're pretty much how they normally would be, so I'm just gonna curl them. If they were lifted, I would not be curling them. I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll have one eye that curls better than the other, one lash line that curls better than the other. And I was really hoping that wouldn't happen today, but thank God it didn't. They're pretty much even. So I do go in with 2 mascaras. That might be overkill for some, but for me, I really do like the finish that it gives. So first 2 coats are Maybelline, the Colossal Big Shot. And then the next 2 coats are the CoverGirl Lash Blast Fusion. So this gives a lot of volume, which I love, because if you can't tell, my lashes are pretty long by themselves. So this gives added volume. And then this one I mainly use for the brush because it helps to separate if by chance they get too clumpy. And you'll see what I'm talking about. So go in coat number 1. And that is 1 coat. And as you can see, I did get some mascara on my lids, and I'll just wait for that to dry to get that off later on. So you can see the volume with these. Now I just want them to be separated. You can see how it separates them. I'm such a lash person, but I don't use falsies. I'm just afraid that I'm going to glue my eyes shut or somehow be allergic to the glue and have some reaction and my eyes swell up, just, you know, worst case scenario. So I just rather do it with mascara, and a lot of my favorite mascaras are drugstore mascaras, so they're super affordable. I definitely love Maybelline the most with theirs mascaras. This is probably my first CoverGirl and I really do like it. I also do like the L'Oreal Paradise. It's like a dupe for the Better Than Sex Too Faced mascara. I'm just gonna wait for the mascara that I got on my lids to dry, and while that dries, I'm gonna go in with highlighter, and it's the same highlighter that I used on my face, just with a little eye brush. Under the brow bone. We'll do the eyebrows in a second. And for my eyebrows, I really don't do much. Okay, so for my brows, I'm just gonna go in with the L'Oreal Brow Gel. It's a tinted brow gel, it's brown, and I just go over my natural eyebrows. I don't do pomades, powders, anything like that. This gives me the finish that I like, very natural, very soft. My eyebrows are pretty much good on their own. I just like to have them set, so. And that is it. Just one coat, just one coat, and that's good enough. So for the mascara that I got on the lid, I go in with the brush that I did the eyeshadow with, and I just go over it again. And that pretty much gets all the mascara off, and I'm good to go. And this is the final look. Very simple, nothing too extravagant for the eyes, just flush of color. So at the end, what I like to do, I go on with the Morphe setting spray. This is a little light, maybe I have enough in here. I just go over my face. And while that is still a little damp, I go in with the clean side of my beauty sponge and just press it in so that the moisture melts in with the powders, so it doesn't look so cakey if I went with a heavier hand. And there we go. I'm just going to take my hair out of my turban, have it air dry, and I will come back and just show you how it looks. So it's a little bit later. I've let my hair dry, and this is what it looks like. My hair is naturally straight. So I will be doing a video how I get my hair to look how it did in my get to know me video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Leave a comment down below and definitely hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in my next video.